Margaret ahead on 12 News, planning a home remodeling project? We'll show you which ones give you the most bang for your buck. Plus, break out the shovels. We'll show you the team effort needed off the field for some big high school football games. But first, the birthday one Brooklyn Park family will always remember.
That's why her name is marvelous. It's incredible. It's a miracle.
12 News starts right now. Hello, and thanks for joining us. Monday's snowstorm will always be memorable for one Brooklyn Park family.
The Andersons say Mother Nature's wrath couldn't stop one very special delivery. Reporter Sonia Goins has their remarkable story.
That was the first day of winter. It was snowing and a lot of traffic.
Reggie and Henrietta Anderson were doing what a lot of Minnesotans were doing on Monday morning, sitting in traffic.
And we were just caught up right in that traffic, trying to make our way to Methodist Hospital.
Henrietta wasn't expected to deliver the couple's baby until the following week, but she was already having labor pains, so they headed to the hospital.
It was just fast.
The drive from Brooklyn Park to Methodist Hospital is about 20 minutes, but that time was nearly doubled with all the snow.
When we take a turn on Highway 100, the pain, she's like, no, it's really coming.
I felt like the baby was coming, so I just told him, just pull over, I can feel your head coming out.
They made an emergency stop on Highway 100 and France Avenue and called 911.
911, this is Debbie.
Yes, my wife is having a baby on the road.
Okay, where?
The baby's coming out. We're on Highway 100. The baby is already out.
The baby was crying, right?
Yes, the baby is already out.
Okay, that's good.
Henrietta delivered the baby in the front seat of the SUV with no pain meds.
Right down here. That's when I grabbed the baby in this space. The door was open, so all the cold wind was coming in the car.
Baby Reggie Lynn Marvelous Rebecca Anderson made it into the world weighing 7 pounds, 5 ounces.
That's why her name is marvelous. It's incredible. It's a miracle.
The Andersons say they didn't have time to be afraid. They relied on their faith to get them through.
I think we should give all the glory to God, because in those moments, it's hard for you to stay calm, stay focused.
The family says they're lucky because so many things could have gone wrong.
I think we were blessed. I think it was just one of those things. You don't get up every morning and say, well, today I'm going to deliver my own baby.
What a remarkable story. Reggie says he never could have prepared for this. He had to use a ribbon from a blanket that he had in the car to tie the baby's umbilical cord. Now, baby Reggie Lynn had to be placed in a heated incubator because of all the cold temperatures, but she's doing fine now. Mike and Alex, the dad is a filmmaker. I think he has his next film.
Yeah, it could be a drama with a happy ending, right?
Exactly, a bestseller.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sonia.
Yep.
Well, despite the cold, road construction resumed today in Robbinsdale. Crews are busy laying down asphalt for the County Road 9 Lake Drive project that's been going on since spring. Today and Thursday, they're focusing on the stretch of road between Chowan and France Avenues. While it may seem too cold to do the road work, the ground isn't frozen yet, though it is more difficult to lay asphalt in 20-degree temperatures because it doesn't compact as well. Well, say what you will about the Metrodome, but it did protect thousands of Minnesotans from the elements during important sporting events.
High school football teams and their fans won't have that luxury now that playoff time is here. As Delane Cleveland reports, the weather has wreaked havoc on scheduling and stadium preparations.
This is state semifinals, and it's a special experience for kids and their families.
Step into Osseo's John D. Hanson Stadium, and you enter the O-Zone. But after experiencing Mother Nature's wrath this week, Frozone might be a more appropriate term.
It's better than it was yesterday at this time.
Osseo Activities Director Ray Kirch has reason to feel that way.
I would love less wind and I would love some sunshine. That would help. But our guys came out here yesterday with 2 vehicles and cleared what you see behind me.
After meeting with the State High School League,
we want to keep the game at 7, and that's a given.
3 playoff games will indeed take place over the next couple days on Hanson Stadium's frozen tundra.
It's not going to be tiddlywinks. And it's not even a contact sport. Football's a collision sport.
However, there's still work to be done.
We've got concession areas that need to be cleared out. We've got the bleachers that still have snow, and that removal has to take place.
It's going to take a lot more of this to get the stadium ready to host 3 playoff games, but Osseo officials say they really have no other choice.
This is all we have. We don't have a dome or a bubble to go into. This is what we have as allegedly hardy Minnesotans.
Meanwhile, the high school league opted to relocate the 1 game scheduled at Wayzata High School because of the time and effort that would be involved to clear the field.
It's an easier decision to move if there's only 1 game on the site. We have 3, so they really want to work with us to try to get this one ready.
With below freezing temperatures and a trip to the Prep Bowl on the line, the games in Osseo are sure to be memorable.
We can all, in a few days, few months, few years, look back and say, God, remember 2014 when I can't believe we did that or pulled that off, and we're going to get it done.
In Osseo, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Osseo's Booster Club and members of the football team will make their way to the stadium with shovels tonight. They plan to remove as much as that snow from the field and the bleachers as they can to get the stadium ready for its first playoff game on Thursday night.
Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center have filed a complaint this week with the federal government accusing the state of Minnesota of violating the Fair Housing Act. They accuse state agencies and the Metropolitan Council of intentionally concentrating low-income rental housing in segregated neighborhoods. The complaint comes as the Met Council prepares to vote next month on its first new housing policy in nearly 30 years.
We're living in an infectious disease world unlike we've ever seen before. Those words from infectious disease expert Michael Osterholm, who spoke Tuesday night to students at Wayzata Central Middle School. Osterholm says problems with mutating viruses and bacteria are more complicated today than at any time in his 40-year career. He says the U.S. needs to keep its eye on the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, which is far from under control.
But will we ever have an Ebola outbreak here in this country spreading through our communities? No. We can control that based on our modern healthcare system, our public health system, et cetera. But in the developing world, no. That is going to be a major problem.
Osterholm expressed concern about Ebola showing up in other parts of Africa, which he says could destabilize the entire continent.
Veterans Day came a day late at one Plymouth school due to the weather, but students didn't let that stand in the way of honoring those who serve. Local veterans attended what has become a Veterans Day tradition at West Lutheran High School. After a short worship service, vets spoke to students about service and patriotism.
One of the most important things for us is to make sure that they don't forget and that they honor the veterans and hold them in high regard for all their service.
Organizers also emphasized the role families play back home in supporting troops. Coming up, the best home remodeling projects for your money. That's next in Money Savers.
Then later in sports, girls hockey highlights featuring Wayzata, Maple Grove, and Breck.
But first, weather typical for mid-January continues.
Well, if you're thinking about making a renovation to your house, chances are you've thought about whether it will increase the value of your home.
Today, we've got a few tips for you on what will increase the value and what won't. Reporter Shannon Slatton shares that in today's Money Savers Report.
From the new countertops to the quirky light fixtures, this is a dream kitchen for Amy Gorka.
We had been updating the whole house, so kind of had done things in smaller chunks. And this was kind of the last large piece.
It's a far cry from her old kitchen that had green countertops, short upper cabinets, and an awkward wall.
We were happy to open up the floor plan and create a little more space and update the area.
The major kitchen overhaul cost more than $40,000, but Amy says she will live in this house long enough to enjoy the upgrade.
It's so worth it. I mean, like I said, your kitchen's your centerpiece. It's the place you spend the most time, especially as a cook or someone who likes to cook. You want to have a nice place.
Kitchen remodels can give you a significant return on your investment, but you don't have to completely gut your kitchen to make your home more attractive to buyers.
Really change the look with some very simple things, from hardware to some unique little things you can do to the cabinetry for minimal.
If you are looking to sell, upgrading your kitchen or bathroom are at the top of the list for increasing home value.
Curb appeal, exterior, so landscaping. I always kind of look at things too. Some homeowners are better than others, but that like to put a little bit of their own elbow grease into it.
Then look at ways to create more space.
The space over the garage is a big one, the bonus area these days, which the reason that does so well is it's actually per square foot to finish, probably the cheapest space there is to finish out of any of them.
And finally, think simple.
Where can you add some value without having to write a big check? So it's certainly that. Paint is always a big deal. Flooring and paint are always going to be your highest returns if it needs it.
The bottom line is remodel something to enjoy it, like Amy did. But if you are selling right away, you can make important upgrades for much less.
In most cases, if you're thinking about selling in the near future, big dollars is not the answer.
For Money Saver, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Realtor David Fry also says when making upgrades, make sure you don't overdo it. You could spend too much and price yourself right out of the neighborhood. Coming up, a special place to embrace Robbinsdale history.
But first in sports, a big day for local college-bound athletes. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
It's a big day for college-bound athletes and their coaches and families. It's the first day of the NCAA Letter of Intent signing period for basketball, volleyball, and other sports. At Park Center High School today, 4 student athletes signed their letters in track and field, volleyball, soccer, and basketball. At Champlin Park, JT Gibson signed for basketball in Nebraska Omaha, while Jonathan Johnson signed for track and field with the University of Minnesota. A big crowd at Wayzata to watch as 11 seniors signed their letters of intent, 9 girls and 2 boys signing in a total of 6 sports: cross country, golf, hockey, softball, swimming, and volleyball. A large number of athletes honored at Hopkins as well, including 5 Division I signees, among them Samantha Seliger-Swenson, who's headed to the University of Minnesota to play volleyball. And at Armstrong, swimming star Courtney Evanson signed her letter of intent with the University of Missouri. Osseo and Maple Grove also had signing ceremonies today. Here's what some of the local signees had to say.
It takes a lot of pressure off me going to my senior year. The whole recruiting process is over. I'm just thankful and blessed just to have this opportunity to go play Division I basketball.
It's in the Silicon Valley, and I'm looking into business, and it's like a perfect fit for me. It's where the Google, Apple, and several other headquarters, including Facebook, is. And I just look to go there and see how I can land an internship there.
I thought it was a great school, and it had a great academic program along with new facilities, and I loved the coaches when I visited there, and just the hockey program. They have a really great hockey program that I was excited to be a part of.
When I visited, I just fell in love with everything, the campus, the coaches. They have an amazing coaching staff in Hugh McCutcheon and Laura, and it's just, I just thought it was the perfect fit, and it's even better that it's close to home so my family can see me play. That's just a bonus. So.
Here now is a look at all of the local athletes signing Division I and Division II letters of intent today.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got my future in me.
Wayzata's girls hockey team won 17 games a year ago on its way to a runner-up finish in Section 6AA. The Trojans, though, graduated a lot of their goal scoring and are looking to find some scorers early this season. Trojans hosted Eagan Tuesday night. First period, and Natalie Heising gets her stick tied up. The puck comes to Paige Sorensen, who scores on the short side to tie the game at 1. 17 seconds later, Haley Schmidt centers to Sorensen, who rips in another goal as the Trojans take a 2-1 lead after 1 period. It stays that way through 2 periods, and then early in the third, Lindsay Zeck scores on her shot from the blue line, a shorthanded goal for the Trojans, and they are up 3-1. The Wildcats make it interesting. Nice passing here. Taylor Anderson to Brooke Madsen for the shot and goal. The Trojans get one more, and they improve to 2-1 on the season with a 4-2 win. Maple Grove had a very good season last winter. The Crimson look to start this year in style. They played at Coon Rapids. On a Crimson power play, Riley Norman gets the shot on net. Bailey Wendt is there to slide the rebound in for a 1-0 Maple Grove lead. Coon Rapids has the edge in shots, but Brianna Blessy has a solid game in net. The Crimson still lead 1-0 after 1 period. Second period of play, Wendt carries behind the net Passes to Cassidy Sharp. She stopped, but Peyton Olson puts the rebound in for a 2-0 lead. After the Cardinals tie it, Tina Campa fires, Went ties it, tips it in. That puts the Crimson back in front 3-2. They go up 4-2 after 2 periods. And then in the third, Olson wins the race to the puck and scores to make it 5-2. Maple Grove skates to a 6-3 win in their opener. In St. Louis Park, Benilde-St. Margaret's hosted Breck. Breck's Grace Zumwinkle digs the puck off the wall, sets up freshman Gabrielle Billing for the goal, 1-0 late in the first period. Second period, Nicole Oppenheimer's shot from the point finds the upper corner. Benilde looking for a goalie interference call there. The goal stands and it's 2-0. Early third period, Oppenheimer's shot deflected in by Zumwinkle to make it 3-0. And then Zumwinkle strikes again on a nice rush to the net. Mustangs beat last year's Class AA runner-up Benilde 4-0. Nice win for the Mustangs early in the year, but a lot of hockey still to come.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a trip down memory lane.
Robbinsdale history comes alive in Minneapolis when we come back. And finally, a little trivia for you. Name the city.
That's right. It is the hometown of professional wrestler Vern Gagne and the birthplace of the beloved game called Cootie.
So you can't possibly have an exhibit about Robbinsdale without showing the game of Cootie. Right here, invented right here in Robbinsdale.
That's right. Robbinsdale city history is on display in Minneapolis at the Hennepin History Museum. It's a walk down memory lane with shots of Robbinsdale's Old Terrace Theater and a cash register used in the 1950s and 60s at the old Ben Franklin store on West Broadway. Plus, Robbinsdale is home to Captain Billy's Whiz Bang magazine. That was a national publication that started after World War I. Robbinsdale is the first city featured in the Hennepin History Museum's new ongoing exhibit called Our Hennepin County.
Obviously, people in Robbinsdale know about Robbinsdale, but people in other parts of the county might not know as much. So we really feel like we're a central gathering place where everyone can come together to really reflect on the broad diversity of our county.
The Hennepin History Museum's exhibit includes a video of Robbinsdale stories that was produced right here at Channel 12.
And the video includes a scene from an upcoming project at Channel 12 called Our Town Story.
At one point, a man named A.B. Robbins, Andrew Boney Robbins, was coming through on a train. He had become a state senator. Before that, he was the mayor of Wilmer. And he passed through Robbinsdale, and he just noticed how close it was to Minneapolis.
And to follow the progress of this exciting project, you can visit 12.tv and look for the Our Town Story logo. And that explains why there's 2 B's in Robbinsdale. It's not named after the bird, right?
That's right.
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you back here at 4 Community Corners coming up next.